The views, opinions, and information expressed during Youth Services podcast series are solely those of individuals involved. Any recommendations or advice during the podcast is general in nature and does not replace the need to seek professional advice. If you are in need of urgent assistance, please call 000 or the Kids Helpline on 1800 55 1800. Welcome to the Casey Youth Services podcast. I'm Taryn and I'm a youth worker for the City of Casey, and today we have a special guest host joining us, the wonderful Veronica.
Hey everyone, thanks for that introduction, Taryn. Really happy to be here and super excited for today's conversation.
We're so excited to have you, Veronica. And for our listeners, Veronica is a part of the Casey Youth Services and also the facilitator of Casey's FReeZA committee. On the podcast today, we are also joined by two current members of the FReeZA committee, Bella and Dhee.
Hi.
Thank you all for being here. So, Veronica, could you please give us a rundown on what FReeZA is?
I would love to. So ultimately, the FReeZA program is a youth development program funded by the Victorian government. It was established in 1997, which if my maths is correct, that means it's been running for over 24 years. So ultimately, FReeZA provides opportunities for young people aged 12 to 25 across Victoria to enjoy live music events, gigs, dance parties, cultural, recreational and artistic events that are drug, alcohol and smoke-free in supervised and safe venues. It provides affordable and accessible music and cultural events in safe venues for young people, and it gives local performers development and regular performance opportunities. So essentially, FReeZA involves creating a committee of young people where they create, plan and run music events for other young people in the community. Often when I talk to friends or family or people in the community about FReeZA, I often refer to a long-standing FReeZA event, which is Battle of the Bands. It is a classic and it ran for many, many years, and I always use that as an example of what FReeZA events can involve. So a few famous musicians have also come from the FReeZA program and their events that have run, and one of those examples is the band The Living End. So if you have heard of them before, they have been part of FReeZA events, which is really, really cool. So each local council within Victoria has a FReeZA committee, and you get to name your committee. So here at the City of Casey, ours is named Ignite Entertainment, which Bella and Dhee are a part of.
Wow, sounds like such a terrific incentive for young people to be a part of, Veronica. And I can't believe it's been around for so long. And I do remember the Battle of the Bands back in my day when I was in school. I do remember Battle of the Bands and a few of my friends being a part of that. So that's so awesome. We like to start with a bit of a fun question. The question we have here for you both today is, what do you do to keep yourself busy during the lockdown, and what are your favourite music genres? Dhee, we'll go with you first.
All right, sounds good. So I've been going for lots of runs with my dog, like enjoying the good weather when it has been sunny. Obviously, the last few days it's been a little bit rainy, but been enjoying taking him out to parks and walking trails. So yeah, that's been one of the activities I've been doing, and also just playing my music. So I have a big passion for playing the guitar and singing. Just been trying to learn new songs. So that's how I've been keeping busy during this lockdown.
That's so awesome, and I love that you've been able to make the most of the sunny weather when we do have it, and I'm sure your pet would be so happy. I think everyone's pets are happy with us being in the lockdown.
Definitely, there's always 3 people giving him attention around the house when we're at home.
He'll be living his best life.
100%.
Bella, how about you? What are you doing to keep busy during the lockdown, and what's your favourite genre of music?
Yeah, so I've just really been picking up a lot of hobbies lately. I started a new painting project and I've been knitting as well, which I'm not great at, but it's a little bit of fun. I've also been watching a lot of movies, which is quite a tease, watching people on screen do a lot of stuff. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. And my favorite music genres are probably alternative and rock. I pretty much listen to anything. I really like discovering new genres of music, but yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Wow, I love that. It sounds like a lot of fun and, it just sounds awesome to get creative and, explore new hobbies like knitting and painting and things like that. But I love that you're exploring new music genres, and I think that imagine a world without music, right? It would just be so boring.
Crazy, yeah.
Yes, it's definitely a universal language of expression.
I definitely agree with that, Taryn. Dhee and Bella, what are your passions and how does it align with being a part of the FReeZA committee? We might start with you, Bella.
Yeah, I have a really big passion for music and film, also most forms of art. I'm also really passionate about politics and diversity. I found that FReeZA's really helped me to put these together because it gives me an opportunity to create diverse and accessible events for the community. So I found that these passions have really been put together, and a lot of people in the FReeZA community also have similar passions, so you're really put in a group with like-minded people, so you're able to achieve this.
That's a great response. So it sounds like being a part with people that are similar to you and have those similar passions is something that you really enjoy about being in the FReeZA committee.
Yeah, definitely. I found it's also maybe heightened my passions as well because you sort of get that energy from everybody else.
I love that. So sort of like a little bit of a motivator, it sounds like as well. Dhee, what about yourself? What are your passions and how does it align with being a part of FReeZA?
Yeah, like I said before, I'm a musician and I've played guitar and sung for most of my life, actually, and I just love performing in front of audiences, especially, and getting experience. So this FReeZA committee has allowed me to do that, has allowed me to perform at the FReeZA events and network, and also I really love meeting new people as well, and through events, whether it be online due to COVID or before when we were creating in-person events, I was able to meet a lot of new people and form really strong relationships.
Amazing. Thanks, Dhee. And I think that's something worth noting as well, that when you're a part of the FReeZA committee, you also get the opportunity to perform at events like Dhee has. Dhee, is there, putting you on the spot, like a standout memory or a favourite event that you've got to perform at?
Oh, it would be really hard to choose one, seeing as we have run a lot of really different and yet amazing events. But one thing that stands out to me is 2 years ago, I performed at an event called Sunset Sounds. So basically that's an event, it's a really relaxed event that's run later on in the year during the summer. Like school is finished for everyone, so it's quite relaxing, and the weather was amazing, and just performing in front of other like friends and upcoming artists as well. It was just a really good vibe.
That's so funny. I was just about to say, it sounds like everything was there creating that vibe, like just the 100%. Audience, the weather, all of those things really add up to make a great event, hey?
Yeah.
Can I just say that it's so inspiring that you've both allowed your passions to guide you into this space, and no doubt you both add so much value to it.
Thank you.
That's okay. So how long have you both been in the committee for? Dhee, we'll start with you.
Yeah, sure. So this year will be my 5th year on the committee. I've been on it since I was in year 9, and now I'm in my first year of uni.
Wow, that's sounds like you've been in part of the committee for a while now. It's so awesome that you've been able to add value to that space and also seize every opportunity that's come your way by the sounds of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Dhee is one of our long-standing senior members, you could say, on the committee.
Love that. Bella, what about you? How long have you been a part of the committee for?
Yeah, so I actually only joined the committee in May this year, so that's just about 5 months. So not the longest time, but I've definitely learned so much in that short span.
That's fantastic that you've been able to be a part of the space and grow as a person.
Next question that I have here is, how has COVID impacted on the committee, and how have you adapted during the pandemic? Dee, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, sure. I can start from last year, since COVID first impacted our events last year when it hit. So the main impact COVID has had is for us to shift from in-person events to online events. Obviously, due to the restrictions and the lockdowns, we weren't able to run our normal physical events with live audiences. So we've had to shift to online music events, which we usually either do through putting together a video and posting it on Facebook, or other formats as well. So yeah, that's the main impact that it's had on the committee.
Yeah, so going from that face-to-face environment to now that online space.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing as well that I can note that has really impacted the committee as well is the ever-changing restrictions, because Dee and Bella, as we know, we were planning our first face-to-face event in the middle of the year. It was, what did it start off as Autumn Originals?
Yeah.
And unfortunately got cancelled 24 hours beforehand due to an update in restrictions. We rescheduled to Winter Originals, and unfortunately the same thing happened. So being able to really use that online space now is so important.
It was really unfortunate timing as well, because we had planned that physical event twice, I think, in a span of a few months, and it got lockdown happened right before the event both times.
It did, and we renamed it, didn't we, to Online Originals?
We did.
And was able to have it launch, which was really fantastic, and it showed so much flexibility and a lot of really hard work and some quick thinking from the committee to make that happen, which is really great.
And I guess we learnt that as well, because we had a backup plan for if the event wasn't able to be done in person. So I guess we learned how to adapt that way as well.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love how you've all been able to be innovative in the development of events in the online space. And also, that forward planning is such a important component in this climate, isn't it, Dee? Yeah,
100%.
So what sort of opportunities have opened up for you both since being a part of the committee?
So far we've been able to do an event managing workshop, and this was an incredible opportunity because I feel like I definitely learned so much from that one workshop. I was also able to MC Online Originals, which was absolutely incredible as well. I've never really been put in the hotspot of emceeing something before, and it was definitely a little bit less nerve-wracking because it was online, and when we originally recorded it wasn't actually in front of everybody. But that's still so much in a span of 4 months, and I'm so excited to see what comes up in the future.
I love the enthusiasm about the opportunities and how you've been able to seize them even in this space and even in that short span of 4 months. That's so fantastic. What about you, Dee?
So a number of opportunities have arisen from me being on the committee, both directly and indirectly. So through the committee, as I said before, I've been able to perform at many events, which has also furthered my experience and ability to perform in front of audiences as well. And also through Ignite, I've been able to network and meet a lot of new people, like other City of Casey youth workers that organize events outside of Ignite as well, which they've contacted me to perform at their events as well. So I've gotten numerous gigs through the committee, which has been really awesome. And also I'm currently trying to run or be appointed as one of the executive committee members at one of my uni clubs, specifically the role of events officer. And I'm using the experience I've gained through Ignite over the years to run for that position. So that's been really awesome that I've been able to use the experience I've gained to further and gain opportunities outside of Ignite through uni as well.
That's fantastic. You know, it sounds like you've been able to seize every opportunity and continue to thrive and grow in the space, both personally and professionally. So it's really exciting.
Yeah.
Sort of adding on to Dee's comment, if that's okay, I feel like the opportunity to learn has also been massive, not just physical opportunities. I feel like I've learned so much about what it means to be in a team, what it means to use teamwork, to run an event, to set up an event, to use online spaces. I feel like this opportunity to learn is so incredible because I've been able to apply it to so many different things. Like, I know at school when we do events, I've been able to take this knowledge and apply it to there, as well as, you know, like school productions, even just general stuff. I feel like these skills that we learn are so applicable to everyday life, and it's really changed, I guess, how I view and do things, if that makes sense.
It really does. And I have to say, as the facilitator of the FReeZA committee, this is just music to my ears, because this is exactly what the committee is about. It really is. It's not only about being a part of this committee, it's about the different kind of skills that you learn. And it really goes to show from both of your responses that, you know, you're learning skills not just in creating events, but, you know, as you mentioned, Dee, about networking. And as you mentioned as well, Bella, like even these skills are transferable to when you're at school as well. So it really does open the door to so many different opportunities. Dee and Bella, I was wondering if you could both talk to what events the FReeZA committee has worked on this year and trainings as well.
Yeah, sure. So our first event this year that was run in January was called Fired Up. So normally we run this event as an in-person hip-hop dance tournament, which has been run for the past 15 or 20 years through the FReeZA committee. But this year, obviously due to lockdown and COVID restrictions, we have had to run that event as an online event. So we invited a lot of the past crews that have been in the event in the previous years to form dances and basically perform for our online event, and it was open to anyone that was able to apply as well. So they recorded a dance at home and sent it into us, and we compiled a video of that, and then we put that video on Facebook for the public to view. And again, it was run in a tournament format and prizes were given out. So yeah, that was our hip-hop dance tournament, Fired Up. And we also ran a training this year. So the training we ran was the event management training, which was done through the Push, and a couple of workers from the Push came out to us in a meeting and taught us how they run events and basically the ins and outs of event management and everything that needs to go into managing an event.
Awesome. Thanks, Dee. It shows how vast the different events and trainings that can take place, because at one end, at the start of the year, we had Fired Up, which, as you mentioned, is a hip-hop dance tournament. And then on the other end, we've had Online Originals, which was really highlighting original singer-songwriters. Bella, can you tell us more about that event?
Yeah, of course. So as Veronica just mentioned, we did do Online Originals this year. So that started off as Autumn Originals and was in the format of a live show at Bunjil Theatre. That was then cancelled due to COVID restrictions, and by the time we were able to put it back on, it was then winter, so we changed the name to Winter Originals. This was shut down 24 hours before it was scheduled to go ahead due to COVID restrictions again. Us as the team decided that we really wanted to still make this event go ahead, so we ended up changing it to an online event, thus the name Online Originals. So this was in the format of a live stream event on Facebook where we got all of our artists to send in videos of them performing, which was then all edited into one video and live streamed. So this event really showcased on our youth performers in the community, especially highlighting our original performers, but still allowing people to perform covered songs. This was really different to our original plan of the event, but it still weren't so much, and I feel like our performers really got a lot out of it. from this event, our main headliner artist was able to put on a little bit of a meet and greet for our artists that performed at the event and for our team. This was also really insightful to learn a lot from someone who's quite experienced in the industry, and it was really kind of him, and it was really just a really great event and a really great experience. So yeah.
Wow.
Totally agree with that, Bella. So glad that we got there in the end, and Online Originals was a great success. So that was a perfect summary, Bella. We are hoping to be back to face-to-face events, most likely in the new year with how restrictions are planning out. But hey, we also do have 3 months left in the year, so there's going to be some more events coming up, that's for sure. So for everyone out there listening, if you haven't already, I really hope that you are following our youth services Facebook and Instagram page to see what the committee has planned.
And can I just say, I'm so impressed with all of your hard work and quick thinking to ensure these brilliant initiatives go ahead. I think it's such a great space for local talent to get around and be a part of. I remember tuning in to Fired Up at the start of the year and being so inspired and wowed. Me and my son tuned in, and he was like wanting to do dances and stuff. So he might feature one year when he's old enough. And then also I heard a lot of awesome things about the Autumn Originals,
Thank you very much.
which turned into Winter Originals, didn't it? Or was it the other way around?
Autumn to winter, winter
That's
to
right.
original.
I get confused too, like which season comes first again?
I always have to go spring, summer, autumn, winter. Oh yeah, there we go, autumn, winter.
It's a good way to remember. So, Veronica, it must be so rewarding for you as a facilitator to see the progression in all the young people who are a part of the committee. What are some of your highlights?
For sure. You know, I've been a part of the FReeZA committee now for almost 3 years, so there are so many highlights that I could think of. But one of my favourites, I've got to say, is always at the beginning of the year when the committee is newly formed and they walk into their first meeting as strangers, maybe feeling a little bit nervous, not knowing anyone. And you just know that in a few weeks' time, a few months' time, that not only are they going to become great friends, but they're also about to create amazing memories and have experiences that they're never going to forget. And these experiences and memories are not only for them, but also for any other young people in the community that either perform or attend our events. So I've got to say that's definitely my highlight. Besides that, though, favourite events, I would have to say would be our Battle of the Sounds event that we have run for 2 years, and also our first online event, which the committee was able to piece together so quickly. This is right at the beginning of when COVID hit, and we knew we wanted to break into that online space, and the committee was able to come up with a really great idea, and literally within just a few weeks, we were able to get almost 10 musicians to participate and have that as an online event for the community to really enjoy. So that's definitely a few of my highlights out of many.
That's so fantastic. And the thriving in the space is so evident. And Veronica speaks so highly of everyone on the committee. And it's just a testament to you as a facilitator and all the young people involved in the space that all of these great initiatives can go ahead, even in this circumstance of the pandemic and the lockdowns and things. You're all doing amazing jobs. So great work.
That's so nice of you to say. Thanks, Taryn. So, Bella and Dhee, are there any future goals that you're wanting to achieve that being a part of the committee would be a stepping stone towards?
Yeah, of course. So one of my short-term goals currently is to be able to create and manage an event through my uni. So my uni is Monash Caulfield, and they use their outside space to run various music events. So ultimately, I'd like to create and run a music event for all the musicians at Monash Caulfield in that outside space. So obviously, I can use the skills and experience that I've gained through my years on this FReeZA committee to create and run that event. And probably one of my long-term goals is to eventually release music. And I think using all my performance experience and all the people I've met, the networking I've done through the FReeZA committee, I could definitely make that happen in terms of like putting out like a live EP and performing all of my original songs live. I can use the FReeZA committee as a platform to be able to do all that stuff.
100%. I love that you've broken it up into those short-term goals and to those long-term goals as well. And really excited to see where you head in that music space. And when you are famous, making it with the big musicians, I hope that you don't forget us here in the FReeZA committee.
I'll never forget you guys.
Bella, what about yourself?
Yeah, so probably my long-term goal is to work in the film industry or the music industry someday. And I feel like FReeZA has really helped me to build skills that will be really vital to help me thrive in these industries. I also feel like the network I've made through FReeZA is also really helpful, and you can learn so much from other people around you, which has really helped. Short term, I guess, FReeZA's really given me a platform to help me express my passions, and I feel like we've done a lot of meaningful work through FReeZA, which also helps me to sort of feel good about myself, but also be able to make a difference in the community, which is really fun and really fulfilling.
I really admire that you are both so enthusiastic in getting involved, utilising the skills, experience and networks gained from being a part of the committee to strive towards your personal and professional goals, especially at your ages. I'm truly inspired. Where do I sign up? So are there any current plans for future events in our midst?
Yeah, so currently we have just started planning a online trivia night event. So it's basically supposed to be like a family sort of event where the whole family can sit down in front of the computer, attend the event and participate in the trivia night all together. Yeah, so that's one we're currently planning.
That's exciting. Got to love some family trivia, especially if your family's competitive like mine.
Yeah, definitely.
We've also been planning a few songwriting workshops. I'm really looking forward to this personally as a songwriter, and I feel like this is going to be really insightful to a lot of our youth to learn from someone who's quite experienced in the music industry, and we're really thankful to Ben for wanting to help us out and for really putting it into our community. So yeah.
That sounds like a fantastic opportunity. Well, we'll be sure to stay tuned for that.
I was wondering if you were able to talk to what the process is to get involved in the FReeZA committee. Now, obviously, I know, but for anyone maybe that's out in the community, a young person that's listening to this, thinking that they would like to also experience what it's like to be in a FReeZA committee, how would you say is the best way to get involved?
Yeah, so I guess speaking from my personal experience, the first time I'd ever heard of FReeZA was when I actually went to a FReeZA event, and it wasn't Ignite Entertainment, it was in the city, and I had no idea what FReeZA was before this. And so when I got home from that event, I ended up Googling FReeZA and Googling FReeZA committees around me, and I found Ignite Entertainment, and so I ended up going on the City of Casey's website, and there was a link there to apply, and it was a pretty short application. I just had to fill out a form. And then I was emailed very quickly for an interview as well. So the process was really easy and really quick. And I was just really grateful to have found FReeZA the way I did.
Yeah, and adding on to what Bella said, that's one way to get directly involved in the committee by applying to become a member. But obviously you can stay tuned to all our Facebook and our Instagram pages in order to get directly involved with our events, whether it be participate in the events or attend the events.
That's fantastic. I love to hear about the journey of how people came to know about FReeZA, and it sounds like a nice and easy process to get involved. So what advice would you give anyone who is wanting to get involved?
Yeah, so really as cliche as it sounds, I would suggest just to do it anyway. I felt so nervous when I first joined because I felt like I was really out of depth and maybe behind. But you learn so much in the team and everybody is so comforting, and it really is a safe space to learn and to fail. As I've mentioned, I've really just learned so much, and I'm really thankful for the team. I'm really thankful for getting involved because I feel like it really has impacted so many aspects of my life. So if you're scared about getting involved, I'd really recommend just taking that jump because it really is worth it. And yeah, the team is super nice, so it's going to be okay.
I love that you mentioned that, Bella, because I think it's so important to highlight that no prior experience is needed to be a part of the FReeZA committee. You don't need to be a musician, you don't need to be an artist, you don't even need to have had experience in running events. Literally, if you're just interested, then we always encourage you to apply. All we need is motivated young people. Dee, would you add anything to that?
Not much. I think Bella basically covered it, but I should probably say that if you're passionate about creating events and passionate about creative arts, it's definitely the right space for you to learn and grow.
Adding on to that, I feel like as well, the arts is really so accepting and so forgiving. So it's really just, an incredible space to be in. And even if you're not necessarily experienced, there's still so much to learn.
Well, you've heard it here first. The FReeZA committee has a lot of fantastic opportunities on offer. And in case you missed it, we will be sure to add any information in the description below. We cannot thank you enough for being a part of this episode. Anyone within the city of Casey who is wanting to be a part of the FReeZA committee, please visit our website for more details. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and our social media accounts to stay up to date. Have a good day and be safe.